Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Gopinath Radhe Jayo Radha Gopinath Radhe Jayo Shri Gopal Jayo Shri Gopal Jayo Gauranitai Jayo Gauranitai Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Prabhupada.
Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Jayo Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jayo Guru Deva.
Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari
Hari Bol. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Om Gyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutaha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamshta Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtat Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhishta Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ram Ramo Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you all for our weekly Harinam Chintamani class. So last time we discussed chapter 9. So we started the discussion and completed the discussion also. So chapter 9 was committing sin on the strength of the holy name. Right. So this is one of the offense. So now today we are going to discuss chapter 10, which is Shraddha Hina Jane Nama Upadesh. So that means instructing the glories of the holy name to one who doesn't have faith, Shraddha Hina. So this is also an offense to instruct the glories of the holy name to the faithless. So we will discuss this chapter. Ashraddhadane Vimukhe Ashravanti Yaschopadesha Shivanama Aparada. It is an offense to preach the glories of the holy name among persons who have no intelligence or no faith in the subject matter. That means if someone who's completely faithless, completely antagonistic, so it's better to avoid such people, right? That means we as preachers, we need to gradually cultivate faith or increase the faith levels in people and then give them the holy name. Gadai Gauranga Jaya Janava Jivan Jaya Jaya Sita Dvaita Jaya Bhaktagan. Glory to Lord Chaitanya, to Lord Gadadhar, and to Lord Nityananda, the life of Janava Devi. Glory to Advaita, the husband of Sita. Glory to Shrivas and all the devotees of the Lord. So he is glorifying Panchatattva and all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kara Yudhi Haridas Balena Vachan Ara Nama Aparada Karaha Shravan. Folding his hands, Haridas Thakur said, now please hear another offense to the holy name. So what is this offense? This is instructing the glories of the holy name to the faithless. Right? So the first section he explains, firm faith in the holy name makes one qualified to hear the glories of the holy name. So that means one who has faith in the holy name can actually digest the glories of the holy name. So we have been discussing in the previous chapters that one of the offenses in one who thinks that the glories of the holy name are imagination or exaggeration, right? So many people may have such kind of understanding. So it's important that we gradually educate people and increase their faith levels, right? Otherwise you may have someone who actually feels that ISKCON is promoting the holy name too much, giving too much stress on the holy name, right? So there may be such category of people. So here he explains, Yara hridaye shraddha na haile uday, nama nahi shune bahirmukha durashray. One whose heart is bereft of faith in the holy name is not qualified to hear the glories of the holy name. So it means, uh, someone who doesn't have faith in the glories of the holy name should not be instructed. That means people can just chant the holy names, but then we may not instruct them in the science of the holy names. Just like we are having this Harinama Chintamani class. This class is not like a public class, right? So people who have that kind of faith, who are ready to hear, who have that innocent kind of faith, are given entrance. So that means what subject matter we discuss with whom should be very clear. We can't have discussions of the glories of the holy name, deep subject matters in front of people who are completely faithless. So depending on the audience, we need to give only that much that they can digest. No janme sa janar naam adhikar, shraddha matra adhikar e tattvasar. A person in whose heart faith in the holy name has taken birth is qualified to hear about the holy name. Faith is the only qualification for hearing the truth about the holy name. Shraddha matra adhikar e tattvasar. So, in order to accept the process of Krishna consciousness and in order to chant the holy name, what is the only adhikar? What is the only qualification? Shraddha. So, in one of the songs, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Lord Chaitanya is coming and Lord Nityananda is coming and giving the holy name to whom? Shraddhavana jana hai, Shraddhavana jana hai. Those who are faithful. So, the currency to purchase the holy name. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives this example. Lord Nityananda has started a Namahatta. Namahatta means a marketplace or a shop where he is distributing the holy name. Okay? So you go to a shop, you have to purchase. So what is the commodity? Nityananda Prabhu is distributing the holy name. Now what is the currency? The currency is Shraddha. So only with faith one can buy the holy name. So therefore he continues, Sajjati Satkula Jnana Bala Vidya Dhana Name Adhikar Dite Na Haya Karana. Noble birth, Sajjati. So if someone is born in a very good family, Brahman family, Satkula, good family, Jnana, very learned, Bala, he has great strength, he has great knowledge. All these are not qualification to hear about the holy name. The only qualification is Shraddha, that innocent faith. Namera Mahatmai is Sridrida Vishwas, Shastra Mate Shraddhai Sarvatra Prakash. Firm faith alone makes one qualified to hear the glories of the holy name. Namera Mahatmai is Sridrida Vishwas. So in order to hear the glories of the holy name, one needs firm faith. And this is the opinion of all scriptures. Shastra Mate Shraddha. This is the opinion of all scriptures. And that faith is described everywhere in the scriptures. So this is actual faith. So there's a footnote here. The holy name of Lord Krishna is a great treasure for the individual souls. So this is our greatest wealth. Golokera Prema Dhana Harinama Sankirtan. A person who takes shelter of Lord Krishna's holy name performs all pious deeds. We have been discussing this in the previous chapters, where Haridas Thakur is explaining that anyone who is chanting Hare Krishna, that means he's done all pious deeds, read all the scriptures, done all pilgrimages, everything is done. In this way, one should have faith in the holy name. A person who does not have this kind of faith in the holy name is not qualified to receive the holy name. So that means we need to develop this kind of faith that the holy name is the essence of all scriptures, right? This is just not a sentimental affair, right? This is actually the essence. And this faith actually develops gradually in the association of devotees. So that's why in the process of bhakti, in the various steps, Adau Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Tata Bhajana Kriya. So when we come in the process of Krishna consciousness, everyone comes with little faith, Adau Shraddha. So the qualification to enter into Krishna consciousness is little faith. Without that little faith, you can't even enter into this process. But then gradually in the association of devotees, when we hear Krishna Katha, gradually that faith increases more and more. Shraddha hina jana yadi hari nama paye, avagya karibe matra sarva shastra gaye. If such a person gets the holy name of Krishna, he will only show disrespect, right? This is what the script. Okay, we forgot one verse. Uh, so this is text 7. To give the holy name to the faithless person is an offense to the holy name. Shraddha hina janake naam dile naam aparadha hoy. So if you give the holy name to the faithless, it's considered an offense. Shraddha nahi janme yar hari naam tare sadhu janna nahi dena vaishnava achare. A saintly devotee should not give the holy name to a person in whom faith in the holy name has not taken birth. That is the right behavior of a Vaishnava. Vaishnava Acharya. So, what is the right behavior? We have to cultivate faith in people and then give the holy name. There is no shortcut to it, right? You have to cultivate that faith. So, therefore, in Krishna consciousness, we have systematic presentations, journey of self-discovery course. So when people gradually their faith increases, then they will take up to chanting. Now, if you find a new person completely and you instruct them, chant 16 rounds, how is it possible? You have to increase their level of faith. So it's not an overnight thing. We may be convinced of something, but we can't download our conviction on someone immediately. We have to allow that person time to for his faith to develop. Shraddha hina jana yadi harinama paye, avagya karibe matra sarva shastra gaye. If such a person gets the holy name of Lord Krishna, he will only show disrespect. This all the scriptures say. So that means this is how a Vaishnava should behave, very maturely trying to cultivate that faith. And Haridas Thakur gives a very graphic example. Shukarera Shukar ke dile ratta se churna karibe, banar ke dile vastra chindiya pelibe. If one gives a jewel to a pig, the pig will only trample it in dust. If one gives fine garments to a monkey, the monkey will only rip them to shreds and throw them away. So these are like common examples. So if you give a pig, a jewel, what will that pig do? It doesn't understand the value of it. Or if you give a monkey silken cloth, you make a first class silken cloth as a dress for that monkey. What that monkey is going to do? It will tear it to shreds. So that means people who have absolutely no idea of the holy name, don't hand over this jewel. Do it very carefully. First educate them what it is. Shraddha hina peye nama parada mare, sange sange guru ke abhakta shigra kare. The faithless person will perish from his offenses to the holy name, and the devotee who gives him the name will quickly become a non-devotee. So that means, if someone shows disrespect, like this example comes in the in Srimad Bhagavatam. One time, Durvasa Muni comes to Indra, and Durvasa Muni gives his garland, the garland that he was wearing, he gives it to Indra. So the garland of a saint has to be respected. But Indra gives that garland to his elephant, Airavat. And what does Airavat do? Airavat puts it on the ground and tramples on it. And this becomes an offense on Indra because he doesn't know how to respect the Mahaprasad of a Vaishnava. So this kind of training is needed, right? So therefore, Srila Prabhupada started this process of Krishna consciousness where we have systematic classes where we can gradually educate people and raise the level of their faith. So ultimately what is happening is, in the process of Krishna consciousness, is we are raising the level of faith of people. So depending on what level of faith you are, that much instruction is given. Shraddha hina vyakti name paite प्रार्थना करिले तहार सहित की रूपे व्यवहार कार उचित. What is the proper response when a faithless person requests the holy name? So if someone, this is a call that everyone has to take. So if you find that someone who is completely faithless, or someone who is like very critical, and he has complete wrong intentions, so such a person comes to you and wants to take diksha. So this is like a very common fashion that most people want initiation without they being serious about the process, right? So just a formality that they want. So if someone comes and says, "Oh, give me the holy name, I want to take initiation," but he's actually not serious about it, how do you deal with such a person? Shraddha virahita jana shat, shatata kariya hari name mage vaishnavere kache giya. A faithless person with, dishonorable intentions. Shatata kariya. Shatata means dishonorable. So he is coming with a very wrong intention. So a faithless person with dishonorable intentions may approach a Vaishnava and request from him Lord Krishna's holy name. Right? So someone who is completely faithless and who has complete wrong intentions, dishonorable intentions, may come and request a devotee, because a devotee is very merciful. Give me the holy name. तहार वचना वाक्य बुझी साधु जन हरिनाम नाही देन तारे कदाचन. Understanding his dishonorable intentions, the saintly devotee should never give him Lord Krishna's holy name. So that means Diksha should not be given to a person who's not properly tested. Like I was reading in the Ramayana, in the Sundarkand, the example comes that Hanumanji, before he's going to Lanka to give the message to Sita. He is actually in front of Sita. He's sitting on top of the tree. He's seeing Sita, but he doesn't immediately give the message to Sita. He doesn't give Lord Ram's ring to Sita immediately. He is first testing Sita. Hanumanji tests Sita to see how much is her intensity of love. So Hanumanji has different roles to play. So in this position, Hanumanji is a guru. So before a guru gives the holy name to the disciple, that ring represents the holy name. So before the guru gives the disciple the holy name, the guru has to sufficiently test the disciple whether his faith is actually strong. Sadhu bale oi bhai satya parihar pratihasa dure raki name shraddha kar. So if someone who comes with a wrong intention and he is asking a Vaishnava, give me the holy name, give me Diksha. So what should a devotee say? The saintly devotee should say, "Oh my brother, please renounce your dishonorable intentions. Throw far away your desire for fame. Have faith in the holy name." So the sadhu should tell him, first give up your wicked intentions. Don't come with wrong intentions here. Right? So come with a proper, sincere intention. So what basically this chapter essentially means is you should give the holy name to someone who is sincere. If you find an insincere person, don't waste time preaching to him. Right? Better to find someone who is sincere. So you tell such a person who's very deceitful, please give up your wrong desires, your desire for fame, and have faith in the holy name. So there's a footnote here. The holy name removes all sins. Okay? So we have been discussing this. We are in the 10th chapter now. Throughout this Harinama Chintamani, we have been discussing that the holy name is so powerful that it can remove all sins. Therefore, when I commit sins, I no longer need to fear anything. Right? So someone may say, "Okay, I've understood na. Holy name has the power to destroy all sins. So what I will do, I will commit sins and I will chant Hare Krishna. I will always chant the name of Lord Krishna. Everyone will call me a Vaishnava and offer obeisances to me. I will be free from having to maintain myself, work to maintain myself." So this is called wrong intentions. So someone may come and say, "No, I want to become a Vaishnava, I want Diksha." But what's his idea? His only idea is people should respect me. He doesn't follow the principles, he still commits sinful activities, and he just wants name and fame. That's all. So this is what it means. Shataya Kariya. Shataya means dishonorable intentions. And this is what the dishonorable intention is. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining. Someone may feel that I just want to be a Vaishnava. I'll just keep chanting Hare Krishna, but I will continue my regular whatever I have to do. I will continue all that. And people will respect me because I'm chanting Hare Krishna, they will come and respect. Because the scriptures explain that anyone from whose mouth the holy name comes, is a great soul. He has to be respected. So people may have wrong intentions. By chanting the holy name, I will destroy all my sins. The result of my chanting the holy name is that I will be very happy in this world of birth and death. So someone may come with this intention. By chanting Hare Krishna, all my sins will be destroyed. Holy name will fulfill all my desire. So I want to remain happy in this place. This Dukkalayam, Ashashvatam world, I want to make it Sukhalayam. Right? So this is complete wrong intentions. That means He's not understood the philosophy only. So therefore, uh, you know, ultimately 99% of advancement is chanting, right? But then it's also important that we educate people in what is the right attitude to chant. So it's just not chanting, it is chanting in the right attitude. So because Krishna and the holy name is non-different, if you come in a mood to cheat Krishna, then you will be cheated, right? So having the right attitude and intention is very important. A person who thinks in this way about his acceptance of the holy name has dishonorable intentions. He is a cheater. So who is an faithless person? Who is a person with dishonorable intentions? Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining here. So if you find someone who has this kind of intentions, completely crooked guy, so better avoid such a person. So therefore, one of the devotees was explaining, Lord Chaitanya is Patita Pavan. What does Patita Pavan mean? Someone who's fallen, Lord Chaitanya will deliver. No issue. Lord Chaitanya delivered Jagai Madai, the most fallen people, he delivered. But Lord Chaitanya is not Kapata Pavan. These are two different things. Patita Pavan means he knows he's committing something wrong, but just that his conditionings are so strong. That's all, right? So Lord Chaitanya will help such a devotee. But if someone is coming with wrong intentions, trying to cheat the devotees, trying to cheat Krishna, such a person will not be delivered. Lord Chaitanya doesn't take responsibility of such a person. He is not Kapata Pavan. So he is continuing here ahead. नामे श्रद्धा हईले नाम अनायासे पाबे नामेर प्रभावे ए samsare tare yabe. He who has faith in the holy name easily attains the holy name. Name shraddha haile nama anayase pabe. Anayase means easily. One who has faith in the holy name easily obtains the holy name. By the power of the holy name, he escapes this world of birth and death. Namere prabhave e samsare tare yabe. By the mercy of the holy name, one can get rid of the cycle of birth and death. Yatadina nahi tava nama shraddha bhai. Nama laite tomara na adhikar nai. Oh my brother, till you have no faith in the holy name, you are not qualified to accept the holy name. So someone who comes with wrong intentions, you have to tell him, please clear your intentions. Come with the right intentions. Develop pure, sincere faith, and then you accept. Shri Nama Mahatma Sadhu Shastra Muke Shuna Pratihasa Chadi Dainya Karaha Grahana. Therefore, please renounce the desire for fame. So please give up this pratishta tasha, this desire for name and fame, just to be respected as a Vaishnava. Please give up this desire. Be humble. Dainya karaha grahana. Be humble. Be sincere. And hear the glories of the holy name from scriptures and saints. You see, the chapter is entitled Instructing the Glories of the Holy Name to the Unfaithful. But what? So if some unfaithful person approaches you, what should a saint tell him? The saint should tell him, please give up your wrong desire and hear the glories of the holy name. So, in one sense, the offense says that one should not explain the glories of the holy name to the unfaithful. But then here it says, when an unfaithful approaches you, what you should do? Speak the glories of the holy name to him. That means, what it means is, when here it says, instructing the glories of the holy name to the faithless, it means instructing the glories of the holy name to those who have crooked intentions. That is an offense. Someone who's innocent, he just doesn't have, he's not developed that faith in the holy name. Such a person is a good candidate. But someone who's coming with wrong intentions, such a person should be avoided. So as preachers, you see, our time is very limited, right? We can't focus on anyone and everyone. So someone who is sincere, you focus on them. Someone who is insincere, please, better just to avoid, because such a person will create more offense, right? Just like Haridas Thakur gives that example. If you give a silk cloth to a monkey, the monkey will just shred it apart. So similarly, if you give something valuable to someone who doesn't have that kind of faith, who's not been educated, he's not going to value it. So therefore, the suggestion is, when someone comes with wrong intentions, you tell him, my dear brother, please renounce this wrong desires of yours, be humble, and gradually develop faith. Hear the glories of the holy name, study scriptures, associate with sadhus. So this is the way we develop faith, right? So when we keep hearing when we associate with the scriptures and and the great saints, their faith gradually rubs off on us. Name Shraddha hale tabe Guru Mahajan, Nama Arpine Arpi Bena Bhai, Nama Mahadhan. When you have faith in the holy name, a saintly master will give you the holy name to you. Oh, my brother, the holy name is a great treasure. So, especially in terms of Diksha, one should not rush into it. One should not rush into it. Right? So, one should gradually develop faith. Right? And when you develop faith, definitely the right guru will come in your life and you will be given the holy name. The formal Diksha will definitely happen. Shraddha hina jane artha lobe nama diya narakete yaya nama parada majiya. If out of greed for money, someone gives the holy name to a faithless person, by that offense the giver goes to hell. So you have in ISKCON, though we don't follow, but you have so many organizations, the guru sits there and you go and pay him some money. You go and give him Diksha. You pay him 1 lakh, he will give you mantra Diksha. So this is complete wrong understanding. I mean, that guy doesn't have any faith. You give him mantra Diksha, the next moment he is going to do all his wrong activities. What is the point? If his lifestyle is not changed, if his mentality is not changed, I mean, you can't make the holy name so cheap, right? Like Srila Prabhupada would always give this example. In ISKCON, we find that not too many people come to this movement. Right? You have so many people who go to casinos and so many other organizations also, but you don't have too many people come here because the restrictions are too much. When Srila Prabhupada went to America initially, many of his god brothers and many people in America, London and all, they were telling Srila Prabhupada, reduce your restrictions. Regulative principles, please don't ask people to follow. If you tell people to follow regulative principles, no one will come to your movement. Prabhupada said, doesn't matter. We are not after public. We are not here to show numbers. This is not a number game. Right? We are not doing number game here. We are giving the right thing. Right? If you have the capacity to pay the price, you come. Just like a shop which sells diamonds, you not have lakhs of people in that shop. The diamond shop, in a week, 4 or 5 people may enter the diamond shop because the price is very high. Only you have that kind of capacity, that kind of currency, you come in. If you don't have, don't come in, no problem. So similarly in ISKCON, we are not here to gather a number. It's not a number game here, right? So we are looking for people who are faithful, people who are sincere and are ready to pay the price of sincerity, pay the price of Shraddha. So here it says, if a guru gives Diksha to someone, gives the holy name to a faithless person only because of money, okay, every year I will give you 1 lakh rupees. You give me Diksha. I will maintain your temple and ashram. So there are many people like this, right? Just because some people is giving money, they feel that they have purchased the guru. In fact, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, some rich people came to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and told him, we want to be your Diksha. We want to be your disciple. Please give us Diksha. We will give you money to run the temple. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, your money doesn't run our temple. Krishna is running our temple. Right? So I'm not interested in giving you Diksha just like that. So this is very important. So if someone gives Diksha to a faithless person just because of some money or some greed, such a person will go to hell. There's a footnote here. When a faithless cheater approaches a spiritual master to receive the holy name, and when the spiritual master knows the prospective disciple to be unworthy, but out of greed for money and fame, accepts him anyway and gives him the holy name, then the spiritual master is guilty of this offense to the holy name. So this applies more to those who are giving like formal Diksha of the holy name. So someone who approaches a guru who's completely faithless, a cheating guy, he's come to make mockery of the entire process. And the guru knows, it's not that he doesn't know. The guru can make out that this person is not sincere. He's just trying to buy me with money. But still the guru feels, okay, at least my ashram is running now. I don't have to take so much headache. Right? Let me give. That means the guru does this offense. If he knows, if he can make out his wrong intention and still he gives. Now, Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes something interesting ahead. However, in the beginning, a spiritual master may think the prospective disciple is truly faithful and may thus give him the holy name. So two situations he's explaining. The first situation is a guru knows that this person is a cheater. This person is completely faithless. And still, just because of money he gives, that means he commits this offense. But if a cheater comes to a guru and the guru is not able to recognize, the guru is very simple in a sense, he's not able to recognize that this person is a cheater. He trusts him and gives him the holy name. So, he just gives. Later, the spiritual master may learn that the disciple is in truth a faithless cheater. Afterwards, the guru may understand, Arey, I did a mistake, I shouldn't have given him. Then the spiritual master must adopt the remedy described in the following passage. So there are two cases. One is if you know that that person is a cheater, still you give, then you are committing the offense. But if you, without you knowing, you didn't get any clue, you just trusted him and you gave him diksha, and then you later on this person turns out to be a great cheater, then the spiritual master should carry out the remedy that is mentioned here to be free from this offense. What is the remedy? The remedy for this offense. E aparadera pratikar. Pramadya yadyapi nama upadeshahaya. Shraddhahina tabe gurupaya mahabhaya. If a devotee foolishly instructs a faithless person the glories of the holy name, he should be filled with fear. First is if you feel, Arey, I shouldn't have done this. I really gave it a wrong person. So first is you should have some kind of guilt and fear. And then what you should do? Vaishnava samaje taha kariye vigyapan. Se dushta shishya tyaga kare mahajan. So one should speak in the assembly of Vaishnavas. First you should feel guilty, you should feel a little fearful that you have done this offense. Then you should go in a society of Vaishnavas, Vaishnava Samaje. So we have been discussing this point for practically every offense. For almost every offense, the remedy is association of Vaishnavas only. You come in the association of Vaishnavas and Kariya Vigyapan. Vigyapan means advertisement. You advertise yourself. How do you advertise? You tell that I made a big mistake. So this in Christian language, you have confession. So you go in society of Vaishnavas and sincerely confess, I did a great blunder. And then you should say, I formally reject this wicked disciple. Se dushta shishya tyag kare mahajan. One should reject him. I made a mistake. Due to foolishness, I gave this person initiation. I reject this guy. Tahana karile guru aparadha krame. Bhakti hina durachara hai maya brahme. If he does not, then that spiritual master by the power of his offense will lose his devotion to the Lord. So if you don't reject such a disciple, then that guru will lose his devotion. See, that means becoming a spiritual master is not a lucrative position. It's a very risky position that someone gets into. So being a guru is not easy. We may think that the guru is enjoying so much, he's having so much facility, so many people come and respect him. It's a very dangerous position, right? It's not a position that everyone can handle, right? So if a guru doesn't reject such a disciple, he will be bewildered by Maya and he will act badly. Atayeva Prabhu Yara Adesha Karile Nama Pracharite Tare E Agya Dile. When the Lord gave an order to preach the glories of the holy name, he also gave this order to him, right? So this is understood. So the Lord Chaitanya has actually given this instruction. What is the instruction? Preach the glories of the holy name to everyone. That is the instruction. But what it also means is be careful. Preach the glories of the holy name, but use your own intelligence to figure out whether the person is right or not. So what is the Lord's order in this matter? Ye vishaye prabhura agya. Shraddhavan jane kara nama upadesh. Nama mahimaya purna kara sarvadesh. The Lord said, you should teach the glories of the holy name to the faithful persons. Shraddha jana kara nama upadesh. So this is the order of Lord Chaitanya. What is the order? Shraddhavana janahe. Preach the glories of the holy name to the faithful. Nama mahima purna kara sarvadesh. Go in every country and preach. Uchcha sankirtana kara shraddhara prachar. Shraddha labhi jiva kare sadguru vichar. Loudly perform sankirtan and faithfully preach. When they become faithful, the people will approach the bona fide spiritual master. So this is the process. The idea of the Krishna conscious movement, the broad framework that Lord Chaitanya has given. Uchcha sankirtana kara, shraddhara prachar. Have faith, Faithfully preach. It's not so. This chapter is not meant to create fear in us. Arey, don't preach. Be careful whom you're preaching to, whom you're not preaching to. Preach to everyone. Loudly perform Sankirtan, chant the holy names, distribute the holy names. But when it comes to initiation, don't force them. Let them develop faith. When they gradually develop their faith, that step will come on its own. Sadguru nikate kare Shri Nama Grahan, Anayase paye tabe Krishna Premadan. From the bona fide spiritual master, the people will accept the holy name. They will easily attain the great treasure of pure love for Lord Krishna, Krishna Premadhan. So when you preach like this, when you distribute the holy names to everyone, then gradually people's faith will develop, isn't it? It's a process, na? It takes time. So it's not an overnight thing. You can't expect that this is like a what do you say? This is like a factory. You start your journey of self discovery course in 1 year. Initiation, ready for initiation. You give people time. It's not a factory that you have to force, and it's not that you have to show certain numbers to anyone. Not needed. So you do your job of preaching, distributing the holy name, and when their faith will develop, they will only want to take initiation, and when they get initiation, they will be in this path of developing Krishna Prem, the real wealth that they will get. Chora Vaishya Shata Adi Papa Shataka Jane Chadaya Papa Mati Dibe Shraddha Dhane. So what is Lord Chaitanya saying? Make the thieves, swindlers, prostitutes, and others attached to sinful life give up even the thought of sin. Give them the great treasure of faith. See, here Lord Chaitanya's instruction is, it's not that you don't have to give the holy name to those who are sinful. That's not the whole idea. Lord Chaitanya is saying, avoid those who are cheaters. But you don't have to avoid the sinful. Because in Kali Yuga, practically everyone is sinful only. Na? Everyone has wrong desires. So even those who are thieves, those who are prostitutes, those who are attached to sinful life, encourage them, preach to them very sincerely, inspire them to give up the path of sin, and then give them the great treasure of faith, Shraddha Dhane. So before the dhan of Harinam comes, what one should give? One should actually give them the dhan of Shraddha. So this is the duty of a preacher, to cultivate, to ignite that fire of faith, to gradually increase the faith in people. Shru Shraddha Haile Dibe Nama Upadesh, Ei Rupe Nama Diya Tara Sarvadesh. When they become very faithful, then teach them about the holy name. In this way, give the holy name to each and every country. So that means Lord Chaitanya has given us a framework. So the job of a preacher is a long time job. He has to be with people, gradually keep increasing their faith, and as their faith increases, encourage them to chant more, and then encourage them for initiation like that. Right? So it has to be done in a very systematic way. The result of this offense. So if you have done this offense, what offense you have? If you have given the holy name to someone who's a cheater, what you should do? Iha na kariya ina dena nama dhana sei aparadha tara narake patana. So if one does not follow this way of distributing the great treasure of spiritual love. So this is very important. Iha na kariya ina dena nama dhana. So we are ultimately in the process of Krishna consciousness. We want to preach the holy name, definitely. But we have to do it in this way. We have to follow it in this way. The way Lord Chaitanya has encouraged us. And what is the way? Gradually develop faith in people. This is what we have to do. If you don't do this, suddenly you download the holy name on them, and suddenly you download the topic of Diksha on them, it's an offense. If one commits this offense, he will fall into hell. Nama peya shishya kare nama aparad, tahate gurura haya bhakti rasa bhad. If he gives the holy name to a faithless disciple, the spiritual master commits this offense. The spiritual master's ability to taste nectar of devotional service is then blocked. So if a guru commits this offense, then his bhakti, the taste in bhakti will get blocked. Ei nama aparada dhune shishya guru, narakete yaya ei aparada uru. Because of this offense, the spiritual master and disciple both will go to hell. This offense is very serious. So both will suffer. The disciple too will go definitely. He will drag the spiritual master also along. So as I told you, the role of a spiritual master is not a very lucrative, and it's not a very position that we should aspire for. It's a very serious position. It's a very serious job. right? So one should be very careful, while preaching, how we are preaching, whether we are doing it in a systematic way. Agre Shraddha Diya Namu Upadesha Dila. First one should instill faith, then one may teach about the holy name. So first one should try to instill faith. Jagamada Prati Tumi Mahakripa Kari Name Shraddha Diya Nama Dile Gaura Hari. Oh Lord Chaitanya, you are very merciful to Jagai and Madai. You first made them faithful and then you gave them the gift of the holy name. So, Haridas Thakur is quoting the example of Lord Chaitanya only. Lord Chaitanya first made Jagai and Madai. He was very merciful to Jagai and Madai, but he first made them a little faithful and then gave them the holy name. Adbhuta Charitra Tava Sarva Jana Gana Shraddhaya Karuka Anukarana Charana. Oh Lord, your activities are all wonderful. Every person in the world should faithfully follow your footsteps. So for us, the authority is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the way he has preached, right? So gradually, one should follow in the footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if you find how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, therefore it's very important to study the scriptures very properly. How he preached to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He didn't tell Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, chant Hare Krishna immediately. See, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a Mayavadi. His faith was completely in the Mayavadi line. So Lord Chaitanya didn't immediately force him. So Lord Chaitanya preached to him in his own style because he had faith in the Vedas, in Jnana. Lord Chaitanya explained through philosophy, because he was completely into Jnana, how bhakti is the highest. And then when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had change of faith from Jnana Shraddha to Bhakti Shraddha, then he gives the holy name. When Lord Chaitanya meets Prakashananda Saraswati and all the Mayavadis in Varanasi, he doesn't give them the holy name. He first, through his own example, through his own kind nature, loving nature, he makes them attracted towards him and then gives them the holy name. So this is a science. One has to do it very systematically. Bhakta Pada Bhakti Te Vinoda Yahar Harinama Chintamani Alankaratar. A person who derives pleasure from devotion at the feet of the devotee decorates himself with the Chintamani jewel of Lord Krishna's holy name. Bhakta Pada Bhakti Te Vinoda Yahar. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, my only decoration is this jewel of Harinam Chintamani. Because as a devotee, what is the pleasure of devotee? A person who derives pleasure from devotion at the feet of a devotee. So that means the Shraddha, how do we get Shraddha and the holy name comes first when we have Shraddha in a devotee. When Srila Prabhupada went to the West to preach, I mean, none of these Westerners knew anything about Krishna, anything about the holy name, but they started to develop faith in Srila Prabhupada. And when they started to develop faith in Srila Prabhupada, and when Prabhupada gave them the holy name, they started to develop faith in the holy name. So the faith in the holy name ultimately comes when we have faith in a devotee. Because a devotee only gives us the treasure of holy name. Iti Shri Harinama Chintamani Shraddha Hina Jane Nama Parada Vicharo Nama Dashama Paricheda. So in this way we complete the 10th chapter. So Krishna's mercy, our Harinam Chintamani is going a little quickly. So every week, every class we have been able to complete one chapter. So we'll stop at this point. Next week we will do chapter 11. So anyone has any questions, any comments, those who are offline, online, both? Those who are online, any questions? Yeah, Vikram Tandepo, yes. Huh. So Vikram Tandepu has a question that we may be preaching to someone and people don't seem to be responding. Should we continue follow up? What we should do? Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, yeah. So basically, what we can do is, what we should do is, when we preach to people, see, first thing we have to understand that we have, as I told you, our time and resources limited, right? So there may be one person that you're continuously trying and trying and trying, and still he's not responding. I mean, if you indefinitely keep spending time in him, then someone else who is potentially waiting for you for your time, he may be lost. So you try for a particular time, and then you pray to Krishna. So ultimately, now in preaching, we have to depend on our own internal prayers and our connection to Krishna also, right? So you can pray to Krishna, Krishna, what should I do? So probably, if you have tried sincerely for a long time, you can still be in touch with him, but you can reduce the frequency. Instead of calling him for weekly programs, which is not responding, for once a while for big festivals, you call him. So in preaching, we should have these categories. Those whom we are following up, we can put them in categories like A, B, C, D. So those who are like very sincere and very responsive, you can keep them in the A category. So you give more time to them because they are responding. There is reciprocation. Those who are completely cold to your tries, you keep them in the C category, D category. Definitely be in touch with them, but you can reduce the frequency of it. That's all. But ultimately, we should not give up hope on anyone. We can keep trying, but then, you know, uh, whatever practical way we can deal with it, we can deal. Yeah, we can do like that. We can give them prasadam. Prasadam is very powerful. So if they don't come for satsang, just pass prasadam to them. Prasadam will make a difference in their life. Or call them for yatras. Yeah. So if one doesn't work, you can try some other channel. See, this is also very important point. See, what happens now? सबके लिए एक फॉर्मूला काम नहीं करता. समझ आ रहा है ना? जैसे डॉक्टर होता है, when you go first time to when a patient comes to you, I mean, we are not doctors, but just giving an example. So if you are a doctor and a patient comes to you, you have tried one medicine, and if it doesn't work, you in that same line, you feel that this is the line it should work. You try for one time, three times, it doesn't work. Then you just try a different method. Probably that may just click off, right? So it's like that. So if this doesn't work, what he's saying is correct. You try connecting the children. Through that, they may get inspired, or someone really gets inspired in yatras. ठीक है? Try yatra for them. Yeah. So एक दो options try कर सकते हैं उनके लिए. Anything else? Those who are online also, any questions?